If one day Elon Musk said, "I'm leaving Earth, and maybe you should too," would you laugh, panic, or start packing? This is not a scene from a sci-fi blockbuster. It's a mission that's been quietly in motion for more than 20 years. And the real reason behind it might not be what you think, but where to go. Where is there any place that can live outside of Earth? Maybe Mars? Is it certain? Why Mars specifically? Why Elon Musk is pouring so much money into Mars? Have we sent spacecraft to Mars before? Can Elon's Starship actually carry humans to Mars? What does Elon Musk want on Mars? The truth behind the plan to leave Earth. Now, let's get clear about Elon Musk's plan to send humans to live on Mars. Elon Musk did not grow up inside NASA's control rooms or with astronaut parents, but as a boy in South Africa, he devoured science books, computer manuals, and science fiction, especially The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In 2001, Musk had an idea. Mars Oasis, a small greenhouse on Mars, growing plants to prove life could survive there. But when he looked for rockets, the prices were astronomical, tens of millions per launch. So, he made a decision that shocked even his friends. If I can't buy a rocket, I'll build one. That's how SpaceX was born. From the small Falcon 1 to Falcon 9, and now the towering Starship, the journey to Mars had begun. Why not the moon? Why not somewhere else? Musk has answers. 1. Similar to Earth, Mars is the most Earth-like planet in our solar system. Its day is 24.6 hours, almost identical to ours. Seasons change just like on Earth because of its tilted axis. 2. Resources for survival. Ice beneath the surface can become drinking water, breathable oxygen, and even rocket fuel. It receives enough sunlight for large-scale solar power. 3. Atmosphere. Thin and mostly carbon dioxide, deadly for humans, but perfect for growing plants in controlled habitats. 4. Strategic distance. Far enough to be safe if Earth suffers a catastrophe. Close enough to reach in less than a year with current technology. And why not the moon? Musk's answer is simple. The moon has almost no atmosphere, fewer resources, and less potential for self-sustaining life. Mars has a chance. The real reason Musk wants to leave Earth. 1. Existential threats. Nuclear war, asteroid impacts, climate collapse, global pandemics. 2. The population and resource crisis. Food, water, and energy systems under pressure. Mars could become an outpost for mining, research, and energy generation. 3. The backup plan for civilization. If Earth falls, human knowledge and culture live on. Musk says, if there's a spaceship that can save humanity, we should start building it now. For Musk, this isn't about escaping Earth out of boredom. It's about survival. Why spend billions on this? Elon Musk's fortune has crossed the $300 billion mark, making him one of the richest individuals in modern history. And yet, despite that unimaginable wealth, Mars may require tens, even hundreds of billions more. So why would a man who could buy anything on Earth, private islands, art collections, super yachts, instead pour his money into the barren deserts of a frozen planet? The answer lies in 3 layers of motivation. First, inevitability. Musk believes expansion into space is not optional. It is destiny. In his words, we can stay on Earth forever and wait for extinction. or we can become a multi-planetary species and give humanity a future. For him, it's not science fiction. It's mathematics. Species that remain confined to a single planet are fragile. Civilizations rise, they collapse, and eventually they disappear. The only insurance policy for humanity is to spread to other worlds. Second, timing. The technology is finally within reach. Rockets can now land themselves something thought impossible just 15 years ago. Reusable spacecraft slash costs by more than 90%. Global interest in space is rising again, from NASA's Artemis program to China's lunar ambitions. Musk knows that the window is open, but not forever. If we wait another century, it may already be too late. Third, legacy. Most billionaires dream of leaving behind companies, monuments, or foundations. Musk dreams of leaving behind an entire civilization, to be remembered not as just the founder of Tesla or SpaceX, but as the man who took humanity beyond Earth. It is a gamble not for wealth, but for immortality in human memory. And yet, this is where the paradox lies. Critics argue, with so much suffering on Earth, poverty, hunger, inequality, climate change, why spend billions on Mars? Wouldn't that money be better spent fixing our own planet? Musk's answer is brutally simple. We can do both. He invests in Tesla for sustainable energy on Earth, and in SpaceX for survival beyond it. One mission is about protecting the planet we already have. The other is about ensuring humanity still exists if that mission fails. This is not a side project, not a hobby for the world's richest man. For Elon Musk, Mars is the ultimate mission, one that may outlast his lifetime, his fortune, and perhaps even Earth itself. Have we reached Mars before? Humans? Not yet. But robots? Many times. Mars is the only planet in the solar system entirely populated by robots. 1976 Viking 1. NASA's Viking 1 became the first successful lander to touch the Martian surface. For the first time in history, humanity received real images from the ground of another planet. A dusty, barren world. Cold, lifeless. Or so it seemed. Vikings searched for signs of life, but results were inconclusive. Some scientists believed the data hinted at microbial activity. Others said it was simply chemistry. The debate still lingers to this day. 1997 Pathfinder and Sojourner. After 2 decades of silence, Sojourner, the first rover, rolled onto the Martian soil. Small, slow, but revolutionary. It proved that we could drive on another planet, take panoramic photos, and analyze rocks. 2004. The age of the twin rovers. NASA landed Spirit and Opportunity. Their mission was supposed to last 90 days. Spirit survived 6 years. Opportunity lasted almost 15. Opportunity's final message, sent back during a dust storm in 2018, broke hearts around the world. My battery is low, and it's getting dark. But during their long lives, the rovers made a groundbreaking discovery. Ancient riverbeds, minerals that form in water, evidence that Mars once had a climate warm enough to sustain liquid water on its surface. 2012. Curiosity, a car-sized laboratory on wheels. Curiosity drilled into Martian rocks and discovered organic molecules, the chemical building blocks of life. It also measured radiation levels, crucial data for Musk's dream of sending humans. 2021. Perseverance and Ingenuity. Perseverance is still roaming Mars today, searching for signs of ancient microbial life. And it brought a partner, Ingenuity, the first helicopter to fly on another planet. A machine with 4 blades spinning in the thin Martian air, something once thought impossible. It proved powered flight beyond Earth can be real. And it's not just NASA. The European Space Agency has orbiters scanning the atmosphere. India's Mangalyaan stunned the world in 2014, reaching Mars on its very first attempt at a fraction of the cost. The United Arab Emirates launched the Hope orbiter, studying the planet's weather. Mars has become a global destination, a stage where nations prove their technological power. So, what have we learned from all these missions? Mars once had rivers, lakes, and maybe even oceans. Billions of years ago, it might have looked more like Earth than the dry desert we see today. Its soil contains organic molecules. Not life itself, but the ingredients that life needs. It's harsh, but survivable. With radiation, freezing cold, and a thin atmosphere, no human could walk outside unprotected. But with technology, domes, underground habitats, shielding survival is possible. And perhaps the most important lesson: we can land there. We can explore there. Mars is no longer just a red dot in the night sky. It is a place we know, a world where our machines have lived, worked, and even flown. For Elon Musk, these missions are not just scientific achievements. They are stepping stones. Proof that Mars is not unreachable. Proof that technology works. Proof that the next logical step is sending humans. The robots have paved the way. The question now is, when will the first footprints join their tracks? Can Starship carry humans to Mars? Starship, SpaceX's crown jewel, is designed to make Musk's vision possible. Fully reusable spacecraft. Carries more than 100 people per trip. Powered by methane and liquid oxygen, both can be made on Mars. Challenges remain. No crewed Starship mission yet. Needs advanced life support for a 6-9-month journey. Must shield passengers from deadly space radiation. If successful, Starship could make Mars travel as routine and as disruptive as the first transatlantic flights. Building a city on Mars. Musk's roadmap. 1. Cargo first. Deliver supplies, equipment, and robots. 2. Automated construction. Robots build habitats. Extract ice for water and fuel. 3. Agriculture. Greenhouses produce food. Oxygen generated from CO2. 4. First settlers. 100 pioneers willing to risk it all. 5. A 1,000,000-person city. Self-sufficient by late 21st century. Imagine a city under protective domes, powered by the sun. Children born on Mars, never seeing Earth with their own eyes. The harsh reality: life on Mars will not be romantic. Forget the glossy images of futuristic domes under a red sky. The reality is far more brutal. First, the cold. Mars is freezing. Its average temperature is 63 degrees Celsius, colder than Antarctica's harshest nights. In winter, it can plunge to 125 degrees Celsius. A malfunctioning heater or broken suit isn't just uncomfortable, it's a death sentence. Second, the air. Mars does have an atmosphere, but it's 100 times thinner than Earth's and made mostly of carbon dioxide. Humans can't breathe it. Without pressure suits or sealed habitats, your blood would literally boil in the thin air. Every breath, every heartbeat depends on technology working perfectly. Third, radiation. On Earth, we're protected by our magnetic field. Mars doesn't have one. Radiation from the sun and cosmic rays constantly bombards the surface. Long-term exposure means higher risks of cancer, organ damage, even neurological problems. Any Martian colony will need thick shielding underground bunkers or habitats covered in regolith. Fourth, isolation. Mars is not a weekend trip. Depending on orbital alignment, it's 55 to 400 million kilometers away. A one-way trip takes 6 to 9 months. And communication with Earth? Delayed by up to 22 minutes. If something goes wrong, a medical emergency, a system failure, there's no quick rescue. The settlers will be alone. Fifth, the cost. Building a city on Mars isn't just a technical challenge. It's a financial black hole. Hundreds of billions, maybe even trillions, will be needed before the planet becomes even remotely livable. Every bolt, every screw, every calorie of food must either be shipped across space or manufactured from scratch in a hostile environment. And Musk himself admits it. The first settlers will face danger, hardship, and possibly death. Mars is not paradise. It is risk, sacrifice, and the unknown. For the pioneers who volunteer, it will be the ultimate test of human endurance and human willpower. The dream of a thriving Martian city might inspire billions. But for those who dare to make the journey first, life on Mars will be less about glory and more about sheer survival. Science, fame, or power? So what truly drives Musk? The idealist, a man who wants to save humanity. The strategist, the first to claim a new world and its resources. The visionary, building a legacy that will outlive every monument on Earth. Perhaps it's all three. Some see Elon Musk as a reckless dreamer, chasing fantasies written in science fiction novels. Others see him as the only one daring enough to try what governments, for decades, have been too cautious to attempt. But the truth? The countdown has already begun. The rockets are being built. The tests are happening. The dream is no longer a dream. It is a blueprint. And one day, perhaps sooner than we think, you might receive the invitation. First voyage to Mars boarding now. Imagine standing there, the launch pad behind you, the vast unknown ahead, the Earth you've always called home shrinking in the distance, and a red world waiting on the horizon. When that day comes, what will you choose? Will you step aboard and become one of the pioneers who risk everything for a new future? Or will you stay behind, watching history unfold from the safety of Earth? The story of Mars is no longer about rockets and planets. It's about us, our courage, our survival, our destiny. This is ThinkMars, beyond Elon, beyond Earth. Here, we explore the ideas, the technology, and the bold visions that will shape the future of humanity. If you believe the future belongs to those who dare to dream bigger, join us, because the journey has already begun, and the question remains, will you be part of it?